What is a gatekeeper? What is their purpose? What is inside the gate? Trying to get beyond those gates. The criteria always changes, but what are they protecting? What are they keeping you from? Access, and they have the key. Fuck all that. I'm here now.
The way they talk shit, the way they talk shit. The way they talk shit, the way they talk shit, the way they talk shit.
Yeah. What's good? How's everything going?
Everything is good. Kick in the door, wave in the 4-4. I'm mean mugging, dudes all day long. You know what I'm saying? Word up.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Shame on you.
Whoa.
Shame. Okay.
Oh, I was just watching something that Old Dirty's baby moms is suing the RZA because they need more money or some shit like that.
Wow. Well, I guess he didn't leave them anything good in his will. Like what? Like, was there a will? Who knows?
Was there a will? Who knows?
Yeah, because I mean, Old Dirty didn't seem like a dude who was like, okay, well, let me sit down with my lawyers and discuss. I mean, especially if they're saying he died of a drug overdose.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. How was your day, my brother? How was your day? Let's not start on any kind of depressing.
Right. My day was good. I can't complain. It's this the first week of a new job
yes. They finally decided your probation is over, huh?
Yeah. So it's feeling good, a little more secure.
Congratulations. You got to do one of these there,
Yes. So, doing okay.
Nice.
But
congratulations, man. That's good to hear.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Listen, job security, well, not security, because
you can, anything can happen anytime.
We know there's no job security, but having a more comfortable paycheck come your way,
right,
is a beautiful thing.
It is a nice thing.
Yes, indeed. Because I'm about to start a new job myself next week, and I'm moving on from this.
You tried it. At least you tried it.
I tried it. It's not for me. It's time to keep it pushing. I'm gonna go be a specialist at Lowe's.
Okay.
And it's better money, it's benefits, it's paid vacation.
Nice.
It's sick days. I didn't have that with this other job.
But you know what? That construction job helped you get the better pay at the Lowe's job.
Absolutely.
Right?
And that's what it's all about.
Even though it was not something that you liked, it was a benefit, and it allowed you to transfer easily to this other position and give you so you used to work in
yes, sir.
About Lowe's shit. So
yes, sir. And people got to view. I think a good thing for anybody to do is to realize that at the end of the day, you are your business, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? You're your business. You're your business, and I'm my business. And whatever it is, we gotta get certifications.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Whatever to put ourselves in a higher paying bracket. Absolutely. Always see it as an investment in yourself.
Sure.
People are usually like, oh my God, that's gonna be $500. Like what?
It's worth it if you get extra $3,000 a year.
Exactly.
It's not more.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing. But congratulations, man. That's excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's
thank you. Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is nice. Just trying to go to bigger and better, always bigger and better things, and trying to do what's right by everybody.
Yeah, you're a family man. You know what I mean. I mean, and again, it's just like some a lady said it to me. Just a better quality of life. There you go.
Yeah, that's what's important.
You're able to afford a better quality of life when you put yourself in a position to, you know, have these things. So yeah, man,
Yeah, that's what it's
kudos to
about.
you, and kudos to anybody that's listening that is doing something to improve on themselves and better themselves in the job market, the mental market, whatever it is, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and on that note, we're going to be talking about healthy communication
Yeah.
this evening. Healthy
Healthy
communication.
communication. Oh wow,
I
Zen.
feel I feel like a guru.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Congratulations. Wow, that's amazing.
Ah.
um,
Uh,
I mean, that's part of healthy communication, though. Like being at peace, trying to speak about things clearly.
hmm
Um, yeah, that's important.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when you hear the term healthy communication, like what does that mean to you personally?
Healthy
Like,
communication, for me, it feels like being able to speak to people, even if you're having a disagreement, but being able to speak to someone in a way that that conversation will be productive,
mm,
right? Like being able to express yourself maturely without like getting upset, right? Because we're adults now and we can speak things plainly. Once we start getting upset, then it's it's gonna mess with what we're trying to get across, and then
right.
people can stick on like, oh well, you were yelling at me, or you
hmm
are,
hmm
you know, whatever aggression they feel like they didn't deserve. Especially when people are wrong, they're gonna use anything that one does against them because they just don't want to take responsibility for whatever needs to be spoken about.
hmm
What do you think?
hmm
How do you?
For me, man, when I think about healthy communication, I just think about being able to verbally, for two people, right, to be able to have a verbal or maybe even like a written kind of communication where there's a solution at the end of it, right? You know what I mean? You know, like in a relationship, if you and your woman are having a disagreement and there's a little misunderstanding, you talk until there is no misunderstanding. Like, listen, this is, although, they don't want to admit it, but they're a little crazy. Um, and sometimes there is misunderstanding when you're like, wait a minute, what I'm saying is like plain as plain could be. Like, how are you misunderstanding this?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just to always make sure that there is like clarity at the end of whatever it is you're trying to
Correct.
communicate to the other person,
Yeah.
and that could relay in business, that could relay in relationships, friendships, on your job.
Right.
It's just being able to communicate effectively and clearly enough where you don't even leave room for somebody to be like, well, you left that out, or I didn't, you never said this. No, I am giving you every little bit of detail that I think is necessary
Right.
so that at the end of this communication, we're both like, okay, cool. And then we keep it moving. You
Right.
know what I mean? So for me, that's healthy communication because a lot of times, friends, family, society will give you, I don't know what they call advice. And then you're like, wait, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not constructive. You know what I mean? It might be one sided. And it's just like, well, damn. And you have to come to your own conclusion. So, even with that, yeah, like give me something that I could take and now go make it something, better, or let me get something that will help me with whatever it is that I came to you about. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people just like, well, I think, blah, 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 blah. And you're still kind of like, that didn't help me at all. Like, what's the deal?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
So that's just my take on healthy communication.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of clarity and like, yeah, resolution, right? Because
Yeah,
you don't just want to yell or not yell, but just have a disagreement or something without figuring out how can we correct this?
right,
How can we make this right? Or how can we, even agree to disagree? Like you don't have to agree with me completely, but how do we come to an understanding that we can both respect, that we don't lose respect for each other,
right,
or that we can respect each other's decisions.
right,
And I think that's important. That's people. It's kind of a lost art. People just want to be right.
right,
Like instead of wanting to open up themselves to understand somebody else's point of view.
right,
Which I mean, there are some point of views that you don't need to understand. Like somebody's a Nazi. You know what I mean? Like the extremes.
right,
But it's nice to understand why people think a specific way, and it gives you an idea of how you can either not necessarily bring them along to your side, but just make it, because once you start fighting with somebody, it doesn't give them a clear path to be like, oh, maybe you were right or wrong, right? Because you're throwing anger into it, right?
mm-hmm.
So once you throw anger into it, a lot of people are not going to be like, well, let me reconsider or let me think of this. They're like, fuck you. I don't give a shit about what
Right,
because you're a fucking asshole, and that's it.
right, right. Oh, you want to come at me like this? Well, then fuck you. I don't want to hear nothing. Because
Right.
automatically people put up their defenses, right?
Yes.
And I think both you and I and anybody else has been in that situation where if you feel somebody's coming at you with aggression,
Mhm.
just natural instinct is like shield.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck
Or
that.
attack back.
Yeah, or right. Shield
And-
up and my sword is in my hand
Right.
because I'm coming at you just as hard as you're coming at me.
Yeah.
You know?
That's no good. That doesn't solve anything. And
Right.
we're not animals. We're human beings, and we should have reached a point that we can have clear, healthy conversations.
Right. You know what I mean? And you would think that as you get older, that's something that becomes more like a duh kind of situation, right? Like duh, like all you had to do was tell me, or all you had to do was, and then we come. But people seem to become, and again, not everybody, but some people become more guarded,
Sure.
less vulnerable, um, more concerned with how they're gonna look if they were to come across as the one that was wrong, or and it's just like all these thinking
Yeah.
that goes on before they just like, you know what? No, listen, I know I was not very clear on this, or I know I was wrong on this. So and it's not the easiest thing to do because pride is always like right here.
Well, that's the problem.
You know what I mean?
That's
Pride and ego. Pride and
That's the
ego are
problem.
like on your shoulder, like, nah, fuck him. Like
And you
he
can never
blah,
have a
blah.
healthy communication. You can never have
Can't.
healthy communication if you have pride and ego, right?
You can't.
Because
You
you don't leave
can't.
yourself open to understanding someone else.
Exactly.
You're just like, no, I'm right. And I have moments like that. I'll be like, no, I'm right, and that's it.
Right.
And then I have to like go back and be like, all right, well, I still feel like I'm right, but I can understand your point of view. And I think that at the very least, doing that is good enough.
Right.
Right? Just to understand the other person's point of view. Like I get what you're saying, but that's not how I feel. And
Right.
right, and we can agree to disagree, but we don't need to disrespect each other
Mm.
or be angry at each other because we don't agree on this thing.
Yep. It's easy, man. Like, and again, I've definitely had my moments where in the moment, I'm just kind of like, that feels uncomfortable. So I get a little more defensive than anything else.
Sure.
But once I cool down a little bit, I'm like, you know what? Damn, all right. This is definitely my, wrong, and I take responsibility for this, my bad, yada yada, you
Yeah.
know. But for some people, the funny thing is, for some people, that's not even good enough. Like, oh, why couldn't you have just admitted it right away? Like they always admit that they're wrong right away. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't do it, and I'm actually pretty much humbling myself enough to come back to you and be like, you know what? You're right. I was definitely wrong about this. Don't throw in my face, oh, it had to take you a whole 4 hours, huh? Like, well, goddamn.
I'm like that sometimes.
Oh, you.
Yeah, I am. I'm one of those people because like more than anything, I just want to be like, all right. I don't want to sit here and argue with somebody, so be like, all right, maybe I could be wrong or whatever. But in doing that, you have to realize that not everybody's the same. Some people
Right.
do need time.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're me, just because I'm like, all right, I see the logic in it or whatever, and I'm okay, doesn't mean that other people feel that way. They may need more time. They may need to assess it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that in relationship, friendship, or anything, like you have to like understand,
Yeah, yeah. I
right?
mean, as long as the person doesn't come back to you like a week later, 2 weeks later, like, oh, listen, what happened? Like,
3 years later.
right, oof. And that's even and that is not even an exaggeration
Yeah.
because I have heard for myself situations where somebody like a year later is like, you know what, I want to apologize for what I did last Christmas,
That's
but
wow.
you're like, well, god damn. Okay, I mean, I'll take it now, but you waited a whole year to be able to give me an apology for something that, and again, that's that pride and ego thing, I
It is
think.
the pride and ego. It
You
doesn't let
know,
you, and that's a real
yeah.
poison too. That's a real poison. That pride and ego. Yeah,
Whew,
love yourself, sure, but pride and ego, that shit,
man,
it's no good, sir.
trash, trash.
It's no
Because
good.
when pride and ego is at its heightened state,
That's a
you can forget you can forget any kind of conversation with
word.
whoever is in front of you because it's you might as well just turn to the wall and just start talking to the wall because that's the exact kind of response you're gonna get
Yeah,
from
because you can't
somebody
always be
who's
right. It's
right.
impossible for anyone to always be right. Has to,
Absolutely.
there has to be
Yeah,
some time that you're wrong, and it's okay to be wrong.
it's
That's
okay.
human. That's fine to be wrong and understand and change or whatever, right? That's fine. Sometimes you're right?
Right.
But you can't always be right.
Not at all.
You can't be nothing's 100%.
Not at all.
Not
Not
even
at all.
not even the math test.
Okay.
The teacher read that number 7 wrong. It was actually a 2, but you got that 100%, but you shouldn't have.
Right.
There's
Right.
always something. There's always something, and that makes us human. If we were
Yeah,
perfect
exactly.
and did everything right, you're boring, and I wouldn't want to be around you.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And it's okay, but people need to realize, yeah, you get ego, you get pride out the way, you are actually able to have healthy communication because you're coming into it, objectively, right? Like you're
Yeah.
just ready to, okay, you know what, that makes sense, but I don't agree with this. And that's another thing too, is like if somebody says they don't agree with something, don't bash them for saying they don't agree with it. Like if they don't agree with it, they don't agree with it.
That's fine. You don't have to
You know what I
agree
mean?
with everything.
Even if you think you're absolutely right and the person says, well, I don't agree with the fact that you're saying I was X, Y, and Z, USA. And be like, you know what? You don't agree, but this is how I felt. And it's always good to make it personal too. Like, listen, this is how you made me feel. You know what I
Right.
mean? This is how you made me feel. Like, it's not like you da 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 you. No, you know what? This is how I felt when you said this. You know, there's actually a guy that I follow on Instagram. His name is Kier Gaines. Kier, I
It
think
sounds
is
familiar.
yeah, Keirgains. Gaines. Kier Gaines. He lives out in DC.
Uh-huh.
Black guy. He's a therapist, and he gives really good advice when it comes to like things like that. You know, he's like, you know what? Sometimes you get in your feelings and da 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 da, but you got to realize like sometimes you have to say, listen, not you make me feel, I felt this way
Right.
when you said this. Not you make me feel you. It's like, you know what? When you said this, I felt this.
That's true.
And yeah, he gives really good. But yeah, if you guys are listening, Kier Gaines, I believe again his name is Kier, Kier, and his last name is Gaines, Gains, or Gaines. But check him out. He's actually pretty good with it.
That's cool.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes, sometimes it gets so crazy you don't understand what people are saying, and you're like, what? So everyone, this is the word of the week is the word of the week is somebody that had great communication.
Dum dum dum.
Yes, they went into a bank wearing a Sonic mask and robbed it.
Wow.
He had a hammer, not like a gun hammer, like a hammering a nail.
Wow.
And he asked for money, but he didn't get any of those gold coins.
Uh
He just ran out as fast as Sonic could, and,
oh. What?
and disappeared. They think it's a young man or a man, but there you go, Sonic. Sonic ain't shit. Sega hasn't been doing well for a long time.
He thought he could.
Huh?
He really thought he could rob a bank with a hammer.
With a hammer. Yeah, with all that look at that glass. Look how much glass there is. The plexiglass.
You can't break that with a hammer.
Hell
Like
fucking
what?
no. That shit is thick as shit. And
Yeah,
it stops bullets. It's not like
exactly. If
it's
it
not
if
like it's guy's bugging.
yeah, that's clearly a mental person. Like what?
What are they doing? Are they showing people's private banking information on that screen though?
It looks like it.
Let me get that account information real quick.
Like wait a minute. Like
and wait, he's in a closed teller line. You see the sign on the right?
yeah, I
and then a similar sign is right behind that. I think it looks like, damn, Sonic is fucked up. Sonic is on meth.
see, yeah, this dude had to have been high or just mental, because, dude, even if I did not know self defense, you
Right.
come at me with a hammer when I'm behind protective glass.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at you like you're stupid.
They looked at him like he was stupid, and then he went bring and he ran out. He lost money. He lost money beating.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild. That's Florida for you. That's Florida.
Oh, this is happening in FL. Oh yeah, well, they got a lot of special people down there, so
they sure do.
Makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. Oh Lord. So all right, that was our what of the week. And Yeah, that was strange. People, I guess, I don't know. I don't know why he thought that was a good job.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So let's see. What's up next? Yeah, all
It's
right.
a,
So we're about to shut this thing down. You got anything you're working on or anything to say?
uh, no, not really. I mean, listen, other than the fact that please check me out on my my little hashtaggy thing there, Mabarvi on Instagram. I do photography. I'm always thinking of ways that I could use my photography to make some money.
Money.
And you know what I mean? I mean, because you live in this world, you need that
You
money.
need some
So
money.
that's that. And just looking forward to warmer weather and being
Oh,
creative and keeping creative. What about you?
me, ooh, March 3rd, um, at the Magnet Theater at 8 p.m. We're having a show. I'm directing a team on that show. Um, and then
Bravo.
Thank you. And then March 16th, I believe, at 7 p.m., there's also, for a class that I'm teaching, there's also going to be another class show. Um, yeah. And give yourself a fucking chance. Try something different.
Yes.
You'll surprise yourself. Apply to
Yes.
that job that seems out of your reach. Maybe they'll hire you. Fucking do it. Change your life a little bit.
I
Do
agree,
something
man.
different.
I
If you're doing
agree.
the same thing all the time and things aren't coming out right, try something different. Give
Please try something different.
shit. There's so much
Please.
mediocrity in this world. Let your excellence shine through.
There you go, man.
So I got a quick quote, and in celebration of Black History Month,
Woo-woo!
from freedom fighter Nat Turner, which, get this right, white people boiled and ate. Uh, I forgot the name of the book that I read, but it's Delicious Negro or something Decadent Negro or something like that.
Interesting.
But they talked about how they used his oils from his body, and they ate pieces of him. So the next time people try to call you an animal, delectable Negro. Next time people try to say like, "Oh, black people are animals," I think not. So
Yeah.
let's see. And I put up this from Nat Turner. It's good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Done.
That's it.
That's it.
Uh,
Good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity. And that's what we were talking about.
yep.
But like Greg just said, listen, please do something different, try something different. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You can't live like that. You know what I mean? If you have done something or you're doing something that is putting you in a place where you're not happy, or you're in a place that's not where you're not happy, maybe even in a relationship, keep it moving. Try something different. Don't let fear prevent you from, like Greg just said, be like surprising yourself, like, oh shit, why didn't I do this earlier?
Yeah.
So live your best life, try new things. You will not be as bored as you are when you do, and be safe out there.
Yeah. And I usually like ending this on a nice note, but I feel like, I don't know. Um, rest in peace to Amir Locke.
Yes.
Another child taken too soon, because 22 is a child. Taken too soon because of the fear of someone who has all the power. They got all the equipment, they got all the bulletproof vests, all the shields, everything. And they still decided to kill somebody who was a legal gun owner and wasn't even the person that they were looking for. And how would you feel if somebody busted open at 3:00 in the morning? What I think it was like in the middle of the night, they busted his door down, and he didn't even have his finger on the trigger. He was well trained with his gun, and he safely showed it without having his finger on the trigger. But they decided that it was easier to kill him than detain him. The police are not judges or a group of his peers. The police are supposed to bring any criminal in and make sure they get to see their day in court.
Absolutely.
And this child wasn't allowed to even prove that he wasn't the person that they were looking for. So, my daughter was alone and she started crying today, and I asked her, and she was like, why are they always killing people? Why are the police always killing people? I'm scared that they're going to come in here and do that to us.
Wow.
And I said, it doesn't happen as often as it seems, but it happens far too much.
Right.
And we should be all right, but don't worry about that. Worry, we'll be fine.
Right.
Enjoy being a little kid, but little kids. I mean, I was scared of police before, but I think like now it just seems like we get to see more that they're killing people. I'm sure they killed the same amount of people before.
Right.
We get to see more of when they kill people, and then that's not their job to kill people.
Right.
Their job is to protect and serve, and bring people into the court, because it's the judge's job or his peers' job to put them in jail or to hold people responsible for the things that they do. So,
and we both know that if he was of European descent, it would be perfectly fine. They would have brought him. They would have brought him to have a nice early breakfast.
Burger King. They would have brought him to get Burger King and shit,
water and all that kind of stuff, with a nice bulletproof vest on, until he had his day in court. And when you are a man of color, it's the complete opposite. And they become your executioner, your judge, the jury, and everything else.
Everything else, which
is ridiculous. So,
and they're just people. They're just people. So there's good people, there's bad people, and they're just people that have too much power without having any repercussions for using that power.
Correct.
And that's a fucking problem.
Yeah, it's a terrible problem.
It's a big fucking problem.
Ridiculous, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need you to watch your ass, but also wash your ass.
That's right. You heard what the man said.
I always mess it up. All right. So thank you for listening to Talking Shit. Listen to us talk shit. This is Talking Shit with
Marlon
and Greg. We'll check you out next week.
Yes, indeed.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's.
Don't get nobody pregnant.
That's right. That's right. Keep it in your pants.
Unless you want.
Hey, if that's your plan, by all means.
All right.
And until next week, Wednesday,
Peace.
Deuces. We're out.
We're out.